best investment you can ever make is first to invest in knowledge. The best investment that gives you the highest ROI is investments in knowledge. Invest in knowledge before you invest in any of these 4 investment vehicles or whichever one aside from these 4. But in this video, I want to talk about the basic knowledge you are to have if you want to invest in any of these 4 buckets. We're talking about real estate, shares and stocks, digital assets, and financial assets. What are the basic knowledge that you are supposed to have? There are more, but at least the list that you should have. So let's go into it. Real estate investment, for instance, you need to know about titles and documentation. Do you know what C of O is, certificate of occupancy? Do you know the difference between certificate of occupancy and governor's consent? Do you know gazettes? Do you know accession documents? Do you know government allocation? Do you know deed of assignment? Do you know what a survey is? Do you know the difference between a registered survey and a provisional survey? These are the basic knowledge you should have when it comes to real estate. When they give you a provisional survey, for instance, and you have paid for registered survey, how do you know the difference? Because you do not have the basic knowledge that you're supposed to have. Do you know how to do your due diligence when you are buying from, maybe you are into land banking or land flipping? Do you know how to do your due diligence? If you are into rental property, do you understand demand and supply? For instance, do you have market information? For instance, you want to build an hostel in a location where there is no tertiary institution, then more or less like you are just throwing your money into a dustbin. What really drives an hostel is the presence of youth, of students. So there should be a tertiary institution around that area. So that should be a major factor. But you do not have any information, you just bought land and the next thing you want to build an hostel. The question is there a demand for it in that location? So you should have this basic knowledge when you are investing. Don't just put your money, because one thing I've come to realize in teaching about finance and investment and with meeting with many people is that many people know how to make money, but only a few know how to multiply money. Only a few. Even some people even open up to you that I know how to, as I make money, but how to keep the money, how to maintain the money, how to multiply the money, it's my issue. So don't just throw your money in the bucket. Have basic knowledge. Invest in knowledge. So if you are investing in land banking, land flipping, for instance, in real estate, do you have cultural intelligence in dealing with omonile? Do you have a property lawyer that's, okay, using a property lawyer is different from using a generalist lawyer or any other lawyer in other forms of specialty? A property lawyer is different. So if you are investing in real estate investments, you want to invest your money, you should know that you should use a property lawyer and not just any lawyer. If you want to invest one time, that's all, no problem. You can decide to use. But if you are going to be investing your money consistently, then go for a property lawyer. Have a knowledge of demand and supply of the market you are playing into. That's for real estate. Let's come to shares and stocks. So you want to invest in stocks and shares, you need to know how to read financial statements. And that's one of the things I do on this channel. Even the real estate of the thing, I've done many videos, but I'll still be doing on real estate investments. So shares and stocks. Do you know how to read financial statements? Do you know what an income statement is? Do you know what cash flow statement is? Do you know what statement of financial position is? Those are the basic knowledge. Do you know how to read an annual report? Do you know key performance indicators that you need to look at? Okay, what are the signs that this company is performing well? Do you understand the going concern of a company, how to assess it, so that you are not investing in a company that is going to crash in the next 1 or 2 years, because already it is stated in their annual report that this company has a going concern issue. Even from their financial statement, you are going to read it, you are going to know. So you don't just go on the NGX platform and you are just buying stock for buying sake. And eventually in the next 10, 15 years, you said, oh, investing in shares is rubbish. Why? Because you did not invest in knowledge before you invested in it. So that's the major undoing of many people. Invest in knowledge. Do you know how to assess the credibility of a company's credibility? Who are those on board? Who is the chairman? Who is the CEO? Are they people of integrity? What constitutes the team? That's why you read annual report. Do you know investors ratio? Do you know investors ratios like the price earning ratio? How do you know whether the price you are buying is at a high price or a low price? Or you are just buying? How do you know whether you are buying at the top? You are buying on the mountain only for you to sell at the valley and you are making losses. How do you know? It is by knowing. So that's why I usually tell people, before you diversify in investment, first of all, specialize. The moment you have gotten one, the basic, I'm not talking about the advanced level, the basic knowledge. For instance, if I want to be talking about the advanced level of real estate investment, I'll be talking about the Land Use Act 1978. Do you know it? Do you know what is called revocation of C of O? All those ones, those are the advanced level. But at least know the basics. Because it's your hard-earned money and you should not take it with levity. So that's that for shares and stocks. Then let's move to digital assets. A major digital asset that you know that people are even investing now because it's the future is digital assets. A major part of digital assets is cryptocurrency, the blockchain technology. So do you know the concept of tokenomics? What is the use case behind that coin that you are buying, behind that asset you are buying? What is the idea behind it? What is the project behind it? Does it have a solid project, or is just a pump and dump coin? Maybe it was just an influencer that influenced the coin and eventually it pumped up, you bought at the top and eventually it crashed. Just like the one that happened with Davido coin that people said they lost money. Because it was just, there was no use case behind it. There was no solid project behind it. It was only an influencer. Many influencers are coming up now to say they have a coin. You don't invest in such, except the one that has a solid use case or it has a community. Do you understand the concept of community in digital assets? Volatility concept as well. You understand the volatility. Do you even have the app that how to track the volatility? Okay, when is the market low? When is it high? You can do this thing yourself. Don't be a lazy investor. And that is what this channel is meant for. To expose us to those things, not just to tell us, okay, I can tell you, I can come here and say the list of 10 coins to buy, the list of 10 digital assets to buy. But I'm not helping you anyway. Because at the end, if something happens to those coins, maybe you lose money, you will come and blame me, you will come and point out accusing fingers at me. Because the truth is, every investment has risk and reward. So do you understand risk to reward ratio? What is the risk attached? What is the reward attached? Then the last one, which is the financial asset bucket. Do you understand types of risk? Do you understand call options? Do you understand interest rates? Do you understand demand and supply? You invested in MGM bonds last month. Have you checked the interest rate this month? Is it going up or going down? So that you begin to know whether you begin to look for another form of investment that can give you regular cash flow. If, for instance, MGM bonds have been your go-to for cash flow, and you are now beginning to see a drop in the demand or in the interest rates, you begin to look for other options, maybe mutual funds, maybe corporate bonds. I hope you understand my points. So that is all I have for us in this video. So we'll meet in our next video. Stay blessed.